Can you explain what CaptureKit does? And Reddit is such a place where...
I think bringing value is more important.
How are you planning to market this product?
So CaptureKit is basically a screenshot API.
When you sold the first company,
Then we take screenshots automatically.
How do you measure that it was a successful tactic?
I know YouTube, it's like an SEO thing that most people don't even come close to it. So I think it can be pretty valuable if you do it right.
Hello everyone, so I'm here with Jonathan, a very special guest. This is the first video podcast of our video series on how founders like Jonathan built a product that was successful and they managed to sell it. But especially we're gonna take a look at their marketing tactics and strategies. Like what was that they used that it was really, really working for them? What didn't work for them? And here we have a lot of things to talk about because Jonathan has founded 2 companies and he sold 2 of them. Now he's working on something new.
So Jonathan, welcome to the first video podcast. How are you doing?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. So let's just start with you, Jonathan. Who are you? Why did you start 2 products that exited, right? Because you built 2 products that ended up being sold.
So yeah, I'm Jonathan, as you mentioned. I'm 25 years old and I'm a software developer. I work at a tech startup for around 4 years up until now. Yeah, I'm still working and I'm building my side projects on my free times, on my weekends. And yeah, I like sports. I do a lot of things in my free time. So I try to find a lot of place to fit in stuff I want to do. And one of them is to build my side projects.
And I remember you mentioned when we met back a few days ago, you mentioned that one of the side projects at the time was coding. So you self-taught pretty much how to code.
Yeah, so I don't have a degree. I started to learn how to code from YouTube videos and Udemy courses, very cheap ones, around $10, per 50 hours plus course, around 5 or 5.5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, 1 year after I started to learn, I started to work in this company. I got accepted to 3 more startup companies.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, before I started to learn on my own, 8 months or so, I used Udemy courses. And then I started a coding bootcamp, a 3-month road. And before we finished the bootcamp, I started going to interviews, and yeah, and then I started to work at the same company I'm working now, actually.
At some point, you decided to launch your first product. Can you remind me the name?
Yeah, the first product I launched is called LectureKit.
Okay.
It started it had different names. It had course, I had weird names at the start. I don't even remember.
I think that's a
Bad
common
names.
issue when we launch the first product. We really need to get the name right for some reason. What do you think it is?
I don't know. You have to find a name you can resonate with. At the start, you try to find things that maybe is similar to your competitors, but that the SEO race is not too hard. So you have to find a name that speaks what you do, and the competition is not so hard that you won't be able to be in the search results on Google or stuff like that.
All right, so you follow more the branding optimization angle, something that people can relate to, but at the same time can also optimize well for organic rankings. With
Yeah.
thinking a lot with AI, I don't know if that's going to be something to influence how we choose brand names at some point. Okay, so then you launched CaptureKit when you sold the first company. You built CaptureKit, which I was a user, by the way, really good product. That got literally got sold a few weeks after I started using it. I was really afraid that I will have to change providers. But no, they are a really cool company as well. The ones that the ones that bought CaptureKit. Tell me, how did you? Let's focus on CaptureKit so that we can deep dive into the marketing part as soon as possible as well. How did you come up with the idea? What were you trying to solve?
So basically, even in my work, in the company I work for, so we had a service where when our users create stuff, then we take a screenshot automatically, and then they can see a preview of the stuff they created. So basically, we already had a service like it, and I thought like I know we are using it, and I know like a lot of other companies, like the popular ones like Figma and other ones, also have like those kind of previews where you can work on something, doesn't matter what, if it's a design file or an app or something like that. And after you save it, when you go back to your like dashboard and you can see like the your list of items, you can see like a small preview, so like a screenshot. So that was like the introduction like to something that's what we did it, we built it like on our own, but maybe there was a solution for it, and there was plenty solution. Like I remember like maybe five like main ones that came up on the top of like the screenshot API field. So
Which,
basically we haven't actually explained like what CaptureKit does. So maybe
yeah, let's just start with that. Can you explain what CaptureKit does?
yeah. So CaptureKit is basically a screenshot API. It lets you capture website screenshots at scale. Like it's an API that means like it's meant for maybe for developers and for no code users, automation users, marketing people, and it enables them to like take bulk of website URL. Maybe you have like 10,000 of URLs in a Google Sheet format, and to go through each and take a screenshot of it for whatever you want to. There's plenty of use cases for it. If it's for tracking pricing, it's for taking inspiration for website. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it. On top of like a screenshot API, it's also a web scraping API. It lets you like capture the content of the website and also summarize the content of the website for whatever you want to use it.
Amazing. Right. So you build it because do you see the need then, or do you find the need within the company or outside the company that you were working with?
So basically, outside of the company made me search for like if there are products for it, and
Mhm.
then I found some. And one of the people I found who is a solo builder, his name is Dimitro. He built like one of the most popular screenshot APIs, and he's very publicly he's talking about it publicly about like how much he's making a month and how many users he have and like the companies who are using it, and it's made it look very interesting, like to see. I know I struggled before with validating products, and to see someone who is a solo developer who built the whole product, and then to see there are more competition in the field. So that's for me like a green pass for it's validated. Like I don't have to do the research myself. I don't have to create a waitlist and do other stuff and maybe run Google ads and get more people. So that's basically showing me that the idea is validated in a field I'm familiar with.
Got it. So
So
there was demand for a similar product, plenty of demand, and that was enough validation for you to say, yeah, there are people willing to pay for this. Was there any USP in your case? Did you focus on a specific differentiator so that people will have a reason to use yours and not the other one?
So when I say like I'm searching for competition, at the start is mainly for searching for competition in a specific niche. Like it's a pretty specific niche, I'd say a screenshot API. And that is saying to me like I can have like a cut of the customers of the market. And at first, I mostly like take the core features I want to implement. I don't focus on differentiating, at least not at the start. And when I like launch with an MVP or a minimum viable product, only then I'll think about how to differentiate, what to add. So I started with the core functionality, a screenshot API, and later I wanted to add more stuff. So I added a web scraping API. I wanted you to be able to scrape the content of the website, to get it in different formats, in HTML, Markdown, text, and even added an AI analyzer API where you can get custom fields and ask the AI about the website and get like the summarization of the content. So this part is coming after like the main core app.
Got it. So once you have the core features and you decide to start building the extra ones, the remaining features that you did that many, by the way, because when I joined, I was always talking to you saying, hey, can we have this? Can we have that? So I feel like users were also a really important part of the product in the end, right? Because you were getting feedback and implementing it really fast. But before you call your first users, because I think that's where we are at this stage, we're still building the product, and you decide to add extra features. How did you decide which ones to choose? Were you also following what the competition was doing? Were you looking at your internal problems, like, what would you like to have solved using the tool? Were you speaking to anyone? How did you come up with those features?
Yes, so basically it started like I do trying to find like something similar to solve. So the screenshot API is in a specific field of web scraping. So if a person wants to get a screenshot of a page, he might as well want to get the content, and he might as well want to get, I don't know, more stuff, more info about the page. So I had like a basic roadmap of stuff that would be cool to build, but without the planning to build them or whatsoever. Like I'm focusing on the main stuff, but you were one of the user who actually I spoke with on WhatsApp and requested features that the feature you requested actually was like a part of stuff I wrote down. So you requested stuff that actually is meaningful and related to screenshot APIs or to web scraping in general. So it's like showing to me like if it's something I can add pretty fast, so I'll do it and then I can acquire a customer or get I don't know, word of mouth, like to show, hey, you can see he's like implementing the feature I'm requesting, so maybe I can request more or be more specific. And I think at least at the start, the users should be the one to quote unquote build the product. Not
Is it,
100% of the time.
I'm gonna stop you there. I have a question. Is there anything you regret at that stage? Maybe speaking more or less to the users, maybe relying more on your gut. What would you do differently now?
Wait a minute, let me see.
Maybe there is nothing. Maybe it was exactly what you expected, and perhaps the time you could save or.
Yeah, actually, I'm happy with the decision. Like up until this point, I didn't spoke to my users. Like I haven't speak with them, with none of them. And so I think it's a pretty crucial moment at the building process, and I'm happy with it. I don't no, I don't regret it.
So I see there are two paths here. You spoke to users, but at the same time, you knew there were specific areas you could tackle that would make a difference, that would create a unique product in your case. Features that you knew you would use, and you realized people like me would use when I told you, right? So you were using a bit of your gut feeling at the same time you were also speaking to users and started building an amazing product, which I really loved, by the way. And your support was impressive as well. There is something we can discuss at the end of the call, but maybe you want to mention it. There is a new product coming up. Do you want to give an intro, or you want to wait for the?
Yeah, we can wait.
Yeah, we can
I
wait.
I'm not in a hurry.
Okay, nice, perfect. Okay, perfect. So now let's deep dive into the marketing, right? This is one of the things that I feel like most of us who build a SaaS product don't realize up until we build it, which is how do we deliver it? Where are my customers? How do I get to them? Because for some people, it's easy to say, I'll do some ads. Ads are expensive. And organic, it's time. So it's something that you encounter yourself in and can be quite underwhelming, I must admit. It happened to me, right? How did you go up? Did you have that feeling, by the way, when you build the first product and you were about to sell it and you were like, what do I do now? And
Yeah,
second,
so
yeah, you did?
yeah, in my first product I built, so I actually had a post about it, like I launched a product, what now? That was the title of the product, the post I made at my first one.
I love it. Yeah, it's exactly how we all feel like. That's the best definition. The best definition. What now? Right. So, Jonathan, let's focus on CaptureKit to simplify things as well. How did you get your first customers? What did you do? when you had the product ready?
So basically, for getting my first customers, I think the first customer I got was from Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
So I had like a post, and that post got pretty much quite a few numbers of views, like a nice amount. And then someone like DM'd me in the chat of the Reddit, and he asked if he told me like he was willing to pay a lifetime deal. He don't want to do subscription, and he don't need a lot of credits or requests per month. And we came up with a number that was like okay for both of us. It at the start is a pretty cheap number, but in exchange I got his review on Trustpilot and got him to like give me a feedback and reviews and stuff like that. So the first ever customer I got was from a Reddit post.
Amazing. Let me ask you, were you a frequent Reddit user? The reason I'm asking this is because I think this is a channel that is highly recommended to move your startup just so that people can give you some feedback. But I don't know if that's the same experience that you have, Jonathan. If you just recently opened your Reddit, you might not have the possibility to send messages or even join certain communities within Reddit. Were you a frequent user on Reddit before you started requesting for feedback?
So for CaptureKit, it was like the point of like I already have made some successful posts on Reddit and had like it's called karma, if you're able to enter communities and post and stuff like that. So when I started CaptureKit, it was already the point like I already have had enough experience in Reddit to be able like to post and to even know how to post, like because
Mm-hmm.
the problem with Reddit is like everything looks like either a scam or promotion. So you have to find like the balance of I'm giving value to the community and also like putting in a small way the way for people to like get to my app if they are the relevant people even. So yeah, Reddit is pretty you have to learn it.
What's your tactic? Now you have a new product. How are you going to do it? Or perhaps we can go back to CaptureKit. How do you do it to make sure that you got those people to see your products? Because sometimes you cannot even share a link. What's the recommendation here?
So because I already posted a lot on Reddit, so I pretty much know in my post what works the most.
Mhm.
And I found out like that what I already did and continuing to do is a lot of times I'm talking about my previous product. So in this case, when I launched CaptureKit, I talked about my previous product I sold, and I gave value about it, like how was the process of selling it, how the handoff was made, how did I do SEO, how did I do marketing, and at the end, after I'm showing the value, I'm putting like text of here's the next thing I'm building, and I'm gonna implement all this new stuff and show you like the progress. So basically use my old products to show my new ones, but in a way that it's more value than just a link. And thing is to show what I'm about to do and actually build it in public. But again, you have to find a balance where it doesn't look like a promotion. If you'd like in this podcast, I can give you like the link to my Reddit post. People can be able to filter it by the top, and then you'll see what works for me and maybe try to create a formula. I like to even use my old post and only change like the names and the numbers like to fit the new update or like the current state, and it works for me.
So building public in Twitter, right? X. Or
Twitter,
you.
like I left Twitter like because I get the least traction there,
Mhm.
like the least amount of traction I get from there. So I build in public from uh for LinkedIn and for Reddit as well.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you've got LinkedIn and Reddit as the two major platforms where you share your
Yeah.
process. Nice. And is there any community within LinkedIn and Reddit that you will recommend to, for those people who will follow the same strategy, which I think is so smart. So you provide value because everyone wants to sell their company, right? So you're like, I sold it. I'm gonna tell you how. I'm gonna tell you how I did it. But then at the end, you're gonna file in the next project so that people can stay tuned in and use it at some point. Which communities would you suggest to use?
So in LinkedIn, basically, I don't do communities.
Just post.
It's basically in my feed, in my personal post. In Reddit, I think it's super useful to first understand who is your target audience and search for communities that are related to the target audience. Let's say if you're building for influencers, so you can search for influencers on Reddit or YouTube creators or stuff like that. Basically, it's best to find the right communities, and before like spamming the post, and you need to understand what people are writing, what they're expecting to see, even to filter the top post to see what is the formula that works in this section, like why would people like enter and won't report spam on you. So that's the first one. I target like mostly developers, no code users, automation users, creators. So I have like a list of like 7 or so Reddit communities that I know works for me. And for each one, like I post a lot of times I post like the same thing over and over, like across like different communities. And you can see like there's a different, like always a different like tweak between communities, because one community won't allow me to add a link and one community only allow images or stuff like that. So you have to find, again, to find a balance.
Be very
And
creative.
a lot of what?
You have to be very creative based on the rules
Yeah.
of the community.
And a lot of time, the same post in one community is like get downvoted like a ton, and at another community it gets like 170K views. Like
It's crazy.
it's a lot of game of luck, and also bringing value. So yeah,
Yeah.
you have to find the
And I imagine that some people trying to use Reddit and they are unfortunately using the wrong community. They get downvoted and then they're like, oh, this doesn't work. This is very demotivating. So it's good to know that for each community, you have to adhere to certain rules, certain ways of creating the creative. So it might be text, video, image, and also make it a bit conversational. No, it sounds like people are also a bit tired of reading AI content. I feel like everyone is now using ChatGPT, overusing ChatGPT for posting. So it's like we're going back. People actually seek that natural feeling in the text, and Reddit is such a place where, I mean, you can tell immediately whether people are typing on their bed or they are letting ChatGPT do all the work. Amazing, Jonathan. That's really useful. Okay. Okay, perfect. So now we know that Reddit and LinkedIn help with that initial traction. What next? What do you do? How did you reach out to more users, or were you only reliant on these two platforms?
So in CaptureKit, I mostly focus on SEO.
Hmm.
And the way I focused on it, like, is a combination of bunch of things. Like, I'd focus on writing one blog post a week, at least 1 to 2, and starting and going. Like, it has to be useful content, tutorials, how-tos that actually target my ideal customer. And that's like the blog post part, as well as I wanted to add like a competitors, like comparison pages. So this way I can add the actual name of my competitors in my page. So if people search for alternative to X, then I might come up as well in the Google results. So in the SEO part, I think mainly 1 to 2 posts a week, as well as alternative pages, comparison pages, free tools that actually I think like my ideal customers might be searching for, like free tool to do X, and then I can limit them the amount of what action they can do. And when it finished, like here they're on my website, maybe they can continue. That's the SEO part of things.
Let's deep dive here.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of SEO. I've done SEO consultancy for a long time, and there are so many theories of what works and what doesn't. However, Google is a black box, right? So I'm very curious to see how you make it work. So did you start SEO when you launched the product, or were you planning and doing SEO before things were live?
So I start with SEO before I even start to build the actual product. I start with the landing page even before I started to work on any line of code on my actual product. making it SEO friendly in every way, the meta tags, the sitemap, even submission to Google Search Console, stuff like that. Already thinking at least of like the post ideas I can make about it, the free tools I can make about it, my target audience, searching my competitors and like analyzing what keywords work and who am I reaching for. So basically optimizing my content and my future content to work with what I want to build.
Amazing. So you were starting way before already with the landing page and everything. And when you started creating content, did you have a plan? Did you say, okay, for these coming weeks or months, I need to post this, and that? Because I know people are searching for it because it's keyword research that I had to do. How did you do it? How did you plan? How did you know which ones to post? And how do you measure results?
Yeah, so I can't say I knew exactly what worked in like a very pinpoint matter. I can tell you that I planned ahead like around 10 to 15 post ideas, even not like full blog posts, which I wanted to schedule like one to two in a week. Those ideas came up from me searching like the blog post of my competitors, like seeing what my competitors are doing and why they're doing it, and if to see it if it resonates with what I want to build and if it reaches the target audience I want to. If it answers or checked all of these questions, then I added to my list. Maybe some ideas I add on my own because I think like a customer might search it on Google. So basically, I plan like 10 to 15 blog posts ahead. I don't write them all and then post it. But in terms of keywords research, the most basic stuff I can tell you that when I started CaptureKit, I went to ChatGPT, clicked on the button of deep research, gave a list of my competitors, like 5 competitors. I talked about what I'm doing differently, what is my product. And I actually wrote, give me an SEO plan. I can even search for it and send it to you later, but I have a dedicated chat of research, the most basic one I can get. And it was pretty much not bad at all.
I'm writing it down. I want to see that.
Yeah.
That'll be amazing.
Okay, so that's very interesting. My question here, Jonathan, is did you write the content or AI did?
So I think basically AI wrote most of the content, at least the top level ones. And then I have changed like, I'd say 1/3 to 1/4 of the content to fit my writing style and my changes. If it's code tutorials, so I actually take code examples from my own code. This way, it's not generated by AI, it's actually by me. So most of the content AI made, then I like changed it to fit my.
Amazing. So you actually did have some input into the article, right? And did you do anything else when it came to analyzing the competition content to come up with what to write about, or did you just followed what AI gave you and just made the tweaks?
So I searched for the blog post of most of like the top 3 competitors, and then I handpicked like the most valuable, like most I'd say top level ones, like top of the funnel articles that would actually bring most of the customers. And then I added my own inputs to them. Like if I thought that they don't have some of the articles I would like, then I'd go for it as well, because it's not just copy and paste. You have to actually be creative, see how to differentiate. In those stuff, differentiation is super important because you want to rank higher than them.
Yeah, now we have all these tools that literally, throw the content out there for you and you don't do anything. And that is such a big problem because Google is been penalizing many sites in the past few months. So it's important that you add your genuine opinion, your perspective, right? Something that makes it different. In fact, I mean, that's a tool that we built, rankingsuperior.com. I will just throw it out there. It's exactly doing that. It's just AI to power your research, and you have the chance to just wait for the questions to come that you have to answer to make it unique. And it's really working. And all the content that we've seen out there that's really AI dependent, I would really be afraid of. Amazing. So for SEO, you did start before you were planning your content, you were making content different. You were publishing 1 or 2 pieces per week. Did you see results from all the articles, from some of the articles, or what did you see, and how do you measure? How do you measure that it was a successful tactic and worth
Yeah,
doing?
so I have analytics like installed on my site, so I can see whichever person come in and I see how many unique visitors I have a day and trends and stuff like that. Like how am I comparing to last month? So basically, I think there was like I had in a total of like 20 blog posts at the end when I sold it. I think like five five of the blog posts brought the most amount of visitors. But another thing like we haven't spoke about is those blog posts I had like cross posting. So if I had a post to write about, I would also write about the same exact post on Medium and on the Dev2 with a canonical URL to link to my site.
To avoid content cannibalization as well, right? I think this
Yeah,
is important to mention. So you had the same article published on in Medium, literally the same one.
yeah.
Okay, perfect. Right. So it's
On
important.
Medium and on also on other platforms like Dev2. And a lot of times, a lot of my blog posts were tutorials, so like how-tos. So I'd make a blog post, then I will copy that blog post and post them on other blogging platforms like Medium. And then I will like summarize it or make it a bit shorter to fit a platform like Reddit. So I would take the same content and publish it around a lot of platforms to fit the platform. Pretty much similar to how I think influencers are making video content to Instagram. They're making it for YouTube and then for YouTube Shorts and then for TikTok and like making it fit.
Right. So you were recycling everything into the right format for each channel. Did you use any tools? Did you do it manually?
So I haven't used any tools for it. So basically, it's basically ChatGPT. It's a tool, ChatGPT.
Or
So
do you train ChatGPT at least? Did you tell him,
I have a specific chat for each task. I have a post writing task. I have a SEO task, like chat. So I have like a pretty much specific thing for everything. Even I have like a specific chat that the AI is trained of how I write stuff. So basically, I've inputted all of my successful posts on Reddit, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and then he can capture my writing style. So this way I can like when I write a post, I write it directly to ChatGPT in my own words, and then I make it fit to what I'm already doing. So basically, I have my mini me inside.
right? I love that. You mini me. I think that would make an amazing brand name, mini me,
Mini me.
for anyone training a ChatGPT. So you basically train your ChatGPTs, and then once you are ready to write a post, you go in, you throw your thoughts, and it's amazing because I think at the end, and Google said this for those doing SEO, is you can use AI. I mean, but you need to obviously provide value and something unique to users. So I think your strategy is amazing. You just train something really well, and then you contribute to the article by sharing your experience, and then you have something that's publishing ready. Amazing, published ready for everyone to see. I love the strategies, man. You're really creative. Really, I feel like you've gone further than I have for my own apps. I've been doing a lot of outreach, but I feel like organic is definitely the game. And here, you haven't done any ads yet. You haven't spent a single cent for ads, right? Or have you?
I have tried ads. I've tried Google ads. I've tried Facebook ads. I even tried Reddit ads. I tried paying one influencer on YouTube. I haven't spent a lot. Like around when I tried each one of those, I had like a week of trial. So
Yeah.
basically, with a really low budget of like between I think $10 a day for about 1 week. And I'm not an expert. I don't know how to make my post stand out in like the ads field or something like that, but none of them gave me any traffic that is significant and even important. Like, yeah, it got people to go to my website, but it might not be the correct people. In Reddit, it mostly even brought how it's bots, mostly bots from Reddit. Yeah, so I have experience with the ads, but then I decided to shut it down and continue organic.
So you tried Reddit, Facebook, and Google, three of them,
Yeah.
right? And none of
And in
them.
YouTube, I try to pay to an influencer, so affiliate marketing stuff.
Okay, and how did it go?
No, it didn't. I firstly contact like a more smaller YouTuber, like with around 30K subscribers. Yeah,
Has-
I had a list of like small creators in my field, mostly developers or no code users. I filter like to around like 20, in between 10 to 50 to even 200,000 K. Yeah, so I search for like small YouTubers with around like between 10K and 200K subscribers. I would search on YouTube like if they have like the email available, and then I simply just email them with the copy paste message to all of them of about, hey, I'm working on this product. Maybe it would be interesting for you to have a partner with me, an affiliation, stuff like that. Around three people answered back, and then with two of them I continued. One of them later on discontinued because he had like stuff with the war in Ukraine, and yeah, so and another one had a video, but it didn't brought any results for me. So it's a nice try, didn't cost too much, but yeah, I maybe in the future in more relevant field than what I did, it might work, but for developers you need to find different ways like to promote.
Right. So you did look for many YouTubers manually. You were finding their emails in their about section and emailing all of them. How many of them did you email? Approximately
Around like 10
10.
people.
A few of them replied. Results? Like, how did you measure results? Did you give them a specific
I
link?
gave them I gave them an affiliate link, like a coupon code they can use, and if one of their subscribers watch the video and purchase the application, then he gets like a 30% of the deal.
Nice, perfect. And what did you offer them in exchange apart from the commission? Anything else?
Yeah, so the one I continued with, I gave him, it was like $50 up front and the affiliation. So
Yeah.
it was a small creators.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
wasn't expensive.
If it's a very niche product that you mentioned, right? So 30 people, 30,000 can be a lot. In fact, the people that I follow when it comes to automation and SaaS and stuff like that, I mean, 100,000 is a lot for such a niche industry. Amazing. Wow, I love all of this. So Facebook ads, Google ads, I think it was not a very successful tactic. Did you reflect on that? Why that could happen? Do you think it was more the targeting, maybe the page itself, maybe the platform wasn't the right one? Any
Uh,
thoughts there?
it might be. For me, it was like to give it a try. I haven't done this before, so why
Right.
not give it a try? A lot of people on YouTube say, if you add $10 a day for this amount of time and target this amount of audience,
A
you
million.
get, yeah. So yeah, you give it a try to see if it works. Again, in a budget that works for you. I'm still a solo developer on this on my projects, so a budget is not like I wouldn't spend a lot to try things.
Are there any more genius tactics you used, Jonathan, that you would like to share? So we have Reddit, LinkedIn SEO, we've tried Google Ads and affiliation. Anything that
Yeah, so one thing I haven't talked about, I think, is like I even posted like videos on YouTube, like tutorials on YouTube. The same when I said cross posting, like my blog post on Reddit, on Medium, it was also on YouTube. So I
okay,
had the same tutorials on YouTube. I haven't like created most of the videos. I did hire some people from Fiverr to make it for me.
okay.
But I know YouTube, it's like an SEO thing that most people don't even like come close to it. So I think it can be pretty valuable if you do it right. And again, I give it a try because why not? And actually, one customer came from YouTube. Even without 100 of views, I had pretty much no traffic. But again, it was the start. But again, one customer came up for YouTube.
And do you use the feed, the shorts? What was the strategy here?
Yeah, I simply use the main YouTube video, no shorts.
Big ones. Okay, nice. And any strategies that you implemented? Did you think a lot about the title? How did you come up with the video content as well?
Yeah, the video content is again based on the blog post. So the same tutorial just transferred to a video format. And then at the blog post, I can even link the video because a lot of people want the visual thing and SEO and stuff. It's helpful to have videos and related stuff in conjunction. So I haven't thought about like the title too much, not about the thumbnail, that simply posting to post. I don't have a lot of time like to think about it. Even like the editing, one of the videos I made is one cut for me. I know I had mistake, but I don't care. So like one cut, I'm making it and sending it.
Right. So you just like, I'm gonna give it a go. I don't want to waste time on this. First, I want to see just like
Yeah.
Google Ads on Facebook Ads whether it's gonna work, and then I can put the time. So basically, everything was being recycled. So you started with the blog content, and then from there you will create all the right content for each platform, right, including YouTube. Right. And for YouTube, did you get any engagement from those videos that you didn't edit? Because some people do spend a lot of time editing, so it might be useful for them to know that perhaps it's not
So
necessary.
again, I didn't spend much time editing at all. Again, a lot of time, one cut, and it's okay for me. It's for testing like the water. Like I'm trying to post like consistently and see if I get traction. And it's a long run game. Like you won't get results at least at the start. Maybe a few months ahead you will see results. I had like between 50 to 300 views per video,
Yeah.
one comment, so not something serious, but again, I know even those small stuff can help. Like even LLMs, AI chatbots recommend you because you can appear on top and a YouTube thing, and they can recommend it. So it's
Yeah.
pretty useful nonetheless.
Amazing. Yeah. So it was more about having that, what was the name? Domino effect, right? When people like something that then someone else is viewing because it was a related user, or maybe they saw a video because they liked a video of a few days ago and then they watch it for longer. So Google, the LLM then recommends to more people, right? So it's more of a long-term game. Love it. Amazing. So, right. Jonathan, do you have any other tactics you want to share before I ask you the following question? That's a bit more of a closing chapter, I would say.
Let me think.
So we have SEO, we have Google Ads, and again, Facebook ads. We did the organic part as well on LinkedIn. Did you touch any other channel that was somewhat successful, or maybe it wasn't, and you learned something from it?
Yeah, so I think a lot of people like give emphasize too much on the launch itself. Like I'm launching on Product Hunt, it will get me users and stuff like that. My take on it, it's like all those platforms like Product Hunt, Unneed, Fazier, all of those are good for getting a backlink. I
Mm,
don't care about the actual launch itself. I don't focus on like getting the votes because it's not that useful. Like, again, it really depends on who's your target audience, but it's good to get a backlink.
mm,
Again, in terms of SEO. So a lot of times, like I've done this in both of my last projects. I pay for someone to like post my product in like 100 or something platforms to get a backlink, and in the long term, it can bring my domain rating up a bit. At least at the start, it's more important. Like if you're already established SEO game, then it might not help, but at least in the start.
mhm.
So posting on platforms, yeah, listing
Right.
sites.
So that you get that organic boost at the beginning. Did you use
Yeah,
Product Hunt?
I did use Product Hunt again with no success, but I don't emphasize on this. Like I don't care if I don't get voted. I don't care to be the first one. Most of the time, I will send the link to my girlfriend so she can upvote me, but that's it.
I love it. Okay. So it depends. I mean, you're a solo founder as well, so you cannot split so many ways. It's good that you were choosing your games and also maybe trying something here and there. And if it gets any traction, as you mentioned, then we can put more time into it. Product Hunt, it's a really powerful platform, but so many people are posting a product every day. So being on top, it's an art, I would say.
Yeah.
Amazing. Jonathan, is there anything that you would have changed from this experience with CaptureKit? Maybe how you started, maybe the platforms you used, perhaps how the product was developed over time. anything that now that you sold the company, is there anything that you have changed, or you are perfectly happy on with the things that you did?
I think like from my first product, like from Lecture Kit to Capture Kit, the main stuff I changed is like in Lecture Kit, I only focused on building, only coding, not even marketing. Sometimes I post on Reddit, but like without thinking about it. And then in Capture Kit, the stuff I change is like focusing on marketing. SEO is way more important than the actual product. You can sell a product that doesn't exist, but you can't, like, if you have a good product and you can sell it, that it's worth nothing for me. And I think for my next project, I will take this even further. Like I already have an MVP from what I'm building, but again, now I'm focusing on marketing. Like I want to take the content, the SEO, everything I can. At the most in the beginning, well, how do you say it? I'd like to take like the SEO level from day one. Like I have the MVP, but I already started the SEO game. So even take it a step further than Capture Kit. Like SEO game, marketing. Again, selling is the way for getting results. That's the result I wanted, at least.
Right. So more on the deliverability part, more on how to sell it. I need to ask you one question. Are you changing your strategy now that so many people are using more and more ChatGPT, Anthropic, Perplexity, all these LLM models? Are you going to continue with that strategy that you presented in the beginning?
So I think like if you work well on SEO and your content, if you do this well, then you will appear on search result of LLMs, of ChatGPT, of Claude, of Gemini, and on other platforms. Even in CaptureKit, two of my users came up. Again, it's something we haven't spoke about, but every time a customer paid or got to me, I asked one question I had to him is like, how did he get to me? If like how did he find us? So two of my customers actually found us from it's not ChatGPT, but it's similar.
Oh,
I forgot its name.
Perplexity, maybe, or
Yeah. This one, and then I tried myself. So I asked ChatGPT what are the top screenshot APIs, and I was actually the top
oh,
option. Even my game is super new. I have competitors from like that started like 3 years ago, and in my search result, at least the way I wrote it, I was the first one. So it's
and
pretty cool.
that's a case study to write there, huh?
Yeah, I had a post on it on LinkedIn, but yeah, it was pretty cool. So basically work on your SEO, on your content, do it well, and it will reflect on other like LLMs and chat platforms, AI chatbots.
And when you say writing well, meaning, like as in putting your time to write part of the content, right? Or is there anything else that we left
More,
out?
more like do your research first before you start to write like anything that you need to know what will bring value to your specific users, and you need to show that value fast. Like you don't need, it's important like all of those SEO principles of like you have to have like 3K words in an article or stuff like that. But I think the most important thing is to bring value and bring it fast. So if like if the blog post is a question, so I like in the top to say, hey, here's the answers, then in the bottom like a more explanation and how to do it and stuff like that. I think bringing value is more important than the amount of words you have on the page.
Less is more. Value, value,
Yeah,
value. I love it, man. I think for the next company that you open, maybe you want to consider becoming an SEO consultant, because everyone is now trying to figure out how to get on top of ChatGPT, Perplexity, and everything. I'm kidding. I think you've got something amazing that I would like to ask you about. So what's coming up now after you sold the company?
Yeah, so I'm working on another kit project because all of my projects are ending with the word kit. I'm working on social kit.
Yeah.
It's similar to capture kit. It's basically it's another web scraper but meant for social. So you can give it URLs for YouTube videos, YouTube Shorts, etc., and you will get like the transcript or the summarization of it and be able to customize the AI response based on the video URL. And later on, like currently I already support like YouTube videos and YouTube Shorts, and I'm planning to add more platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and more. So basically a social media web scraper API. It's a pretty broad category, but something like that.
So you would scrape the videos themselves, right?
Yeah, the video and also like valuable content, like getting like the amount of views, comments, likes,
Oh,
statistics. Yeah.
right. Amazing. You know who's gonna be your first user?
No.
Me. I would love to have it, man. I'm a big YouTube user. I consume a lot of content, and sometimes they're really long, really long. And I am unfortunately, I don't have the time to watch them all, so I have to put the times two speed. Or I can use your tool, and I can then build a small automation so that ChatGPT summarizes its main points without missing any detail and removing all the fluff, which I do
Yeah,
sometimes with some tools, but it's a bit of a pain. I prefer your API. I think it's more dynamic, right?
yeah. So that's pretty much like what I'm currently building.
Amazing. Well, I would love to see it when you have it, and I will put a link already for everyone to see and check it out. Do you have an opening list now? Can people sign up to a waiting list?
So basically, the product is it's pretty much in I'll call it like a beta. You can actually try it already. You can even pay for the product. So you can sign up and try it. Use the API.
Nice.
But currently you have like YouTube and YouTube Short support, and later on I will add the statistics part and more platforms. So yeah, it's already available.
And the support is amazing. So if people have a problem, I'm sure they can reach out to you and or with any feedback. Perhaps it might be useful for you to see what people want out there. Okay. Two more questions, and I promise I'll let you go, Jonathan. How are you planning to market this product? Are you gonna follow the same strategy then with SEO? Are you gonna run any ads? Are you gonna do the marketing on Reddit as well? Talking about Capture Kit. Do you have any new ideas on how you're gonna go about this?
So basically, most of the stuff I'm planning to do are similar, like the same strategy of like posting and getting the right keywords and searching my competitors. More strategies I know I want to implement even pretty soon is like to add a lot of free tools. Like you'll have a specific page for YouTube video summarization or YouTube short video summarization, a lot of pages that are specific using my product and let you actually use the product for free. And if you want, you can extend it and use the actual product like the API. And I think it can bring pretty much a good amount of traffic. So yeah, a lot of free tools, a lot of tutorials of even how to actually do what I'm doing. Like the same thing went for Capture Kit. A lot of the posts were like, how can I take a screenshot of the page? So I will tell you how to do it, but then I will tell you it's pretty hard and you have to host it and you have to pretty much put an AWS Lambda to do it for you on the cloud, and it can be expensive if you don't know how to do it. And then I let you choose if you want to build it yourself or use my own product.
I love it. Amazing. And I think the pricing was really competitive. So it makes no sense for us to build anything, especially when you have, an expert like yourself building such a sleek product. Jonathan, how can people follow you? Where can they find you? Are you an influencer?
I am not an influencer, but I do post on LinkedIn and on Reddit. So yeah, those are my main platforms. I do have a Twitter account. I don't use it as much, but I still post now and then.
Amazing. We will share the links for everyone to take a look. Jonathan, it was a pleasure to have you in this first meeting or this first video podcast of the series that we are building for anyone and everyone to learn a bit more about, what things are working out for some founders like yourself, things that actually move the needle. So thank you so much for coming. It's been a real pleasure, and I hope you had fun.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I had a lot of fun.
That is perfect. I love it. Thank you.